Hello, everybody. Today, I want to talk to you about cars and numbers. Having consulted innumerable people over the years, I can tell you one thing that the cars that we drive, the car that you drive, has a definite impact on our or your luck factor. Now, there are three things that have to be considered when buying or owning cars. The first thing is the color of the car. The color of the car is important. Why? Because, see, all colors have a certain planetary frequency, and it is very important that the color of the car matches or harmonizes with your own basic energy. So, let me give you an example. So, if you have a lot of, say, Saturn energy, or say a lot of Mercury energy for that matter, yeah, something green or a lighter color like a blue, beige, off white, these green colors would be good for you. If you have a lot of Mars energy, maybe light blue or some silver colors would be good for you. So that is my point. It is very important that the colors of the cars harmonize with your basic energy, that is your date of birth. Really important for your success. The second thing that has to be considered is the license plate number. Now, we all know all cars have license plate numbers, and sometimes when we acquire these cars, those numbers might work for us, or in most cases, they do not work for us. So, well, what do you do if say, for example, if a car number doesn't work for you? But you can't just go patch it and put a number behind the registration number. That won't really help. So here I've had many clients over the years, and they've have private license plates. Where you can choose certain numbers, certain combinations that can appear on your car registration plate. So that is one way to be with your energy, to be with the best frequencies. The third thing that has to be considered is the make of the car. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You could have a whole bunch of change with you, and you could afford any make you want. But the point is this: that whatever you buy, it has to flow with your energy, with your own frequency. The reason being this that when you're driving your cars, very often I'm sure your phones ring and the energy comes in through the phones and of course the vibration that's up on those four wheels and the colors and things like that does attract a certain kind of frequency. So we want that even behind the wheel we have all positive vibrations flowing around us. Very important for most people, or all people who own cars, but particularly for business people because their phones ring all the time, and we want that when those phones rings in their cars, well, I'm sure their phone numbers be balanced with the energies, but the colors and the models and the numbers are all in their balanced frequencies. Now, I'd like to give you a couple examples. These two examples they're in my mind all the time, and I've consulted these people in the past, and I'd like to talk to you about that a little bit. Some years ago, I was in New Delhi, which is also my hometown, and I had this one gentleman I met, and he's a very prominent lawyer in the courts of New Delhi. I mean, he does really well. And so as he was stepping out and to have some lunch, and then got into his car, which I was not very fond of. So I told him, "Well, how long have you driven this car?" He says, "Why are you asking that question?" I said, "I don't know. I don't feel very good in this car." So he told me something. He said, even this car, he said, even if this car is parked outside his house, it gets hit. It's been so unlucky for him, and I could tell right away a car that is hit when it is not even moving. So he asked me what should he really do, and I suggested that he should offload that car right away. And interestingly, he called me one day and he said that there's someone who wants to buy his car. So what should he do? I said, just get rid of it. And that was just purely on my word. He said, well, if you say, Mr. Kelsey, I'll get rid of it, which he did. And then it took him quite a bit of time, almost another 4 months to get the right car. And then he was not very happy. He said, well, I made him sell his car, and he had to kind of share with somebody else for a while, and he wasn't very happy. But then he suddenly happened to find the right energy again when I was visiting the second time, and it was exactly the same gold color energy that I recommended. And then by the grace of God, the numerology happened to be right too from the place he was buying, and it all fell in place. And so I asked this gentleman later, I said, so what did this car really do for you? He says, I feel that my family is kind of more together now, and I just feel more luckier. So see, that is my point. How the change of car, the change of color, could shift the energy of someone who's kind of so prominent, someone who's so successful, and someone who is, dealing with the public on a daily basis. And then there's another example I'd like to give you. Very recently, in the beginning of this year, with the year 2014, I had this call from this one person. I mean, this lady was she's very prominent. She's very well established in the movie business in Southern California and Hollywood. And of course, she didn't tell me that when she was consulting me. But then when I was doing her reading, I asked her a few questions, and her concern at that point was primarily her house that she had moved to on Manhattan Beach in Southern California. And during the reading, I suggested that in this time period, she should avoid the energy of Mars, which is more a lot of the color red and the number nine energy because it was not flowing well with her. And so I happened to ask her. So I said, "What is the color of your car?" And so she said, "Oh, well, my boyfriend just gifted me this expensive Porsche, and it's more like it's close to the color red." And then I stopped. I said, "When did you get this car?" So she said, "A little while ago." And I said, "Well, it's not a good idea for you to drive that car." And then for a few moments, there was the silence. And so I said, "What happened?" She says, "Oh, soon after I got this Porsche as a gift, I got rear-ended on the 405 freeway." For all those who live here in this part of the world would know, 405 freeway is a very famous freeway in Los Angeles. So if you see 405 is also a number nine, and the color of the car was also Mars energy, was a number nine, the color red. And then it happened in the time of Aries, which also has a lot of Mars energy. So that did make a lot of sense to this very, very intelligent lady. And so I made a suggestion. Well, she's still driving that expensive car or not, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her since then, but I can tell you that colors, energies, and numbers on cars are very important. So the next time, if you are in the market or you're looking for a new car or you're not very happy with the existing car, I would suggest, besides just due diligence, just relax and look at the numbers, look at the colors, consult somebody, and drive those four wheels in positive vibrations, energies that are harmonious with your own frequencies for your highest and best energy. And good luck. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again.